something there. And so so uh, so I think I guess diversity for us is something I personally feel it has to be a mix and match, and for just not the work ethics, also for the culture issues or anything that I would say have that. And when you, especially when you have external interface going as pair, would help you to get whatever you want. And I have done that in family. I would do this even as department wise.
Oh, that's a great answer. I had two more questions, then I leave it to the audience. What are the few advices, tips you would like to give it to young HR professionals? Because there's one challenge with young HR professionals is they would all like to be high flying. They don't want to dirty their hands. Don't love this word called IR. What would be your advice?
I would say, I mean, whatever they like, let them balloon it. I wouldn't say that don't change or don't go look back, because it's I would leave them free. I mean, I would leave them with the tech innovation and whatever the latest that they like, and the millennials don't want to talk to the human being much, but then keep working and delivering. I would leave them, but they are beautiful people. They are just beautiful people. I would say get an opportunity, see all the places. And I always loved walking in the shop floor, relieving myself with getting some, drawing some ideas, relieving some ideas. So people would still recognize me, the man who used to walk in the shop floor and see us and have a knack, just doesn't see front, but then his eyes rolls down and sees backward also, and then comes back and gives ideas. So I would say, youngsters, go for it, whatever is best. Keep reading. Agility is something, a great word. Decision making is a great word. I would say go and do it, and the last minute preparation. Without preparation, nothing will happen. I mean, if you don't prepare yourself, nothing is going to go your way. It's so hard work, preparation, and going and getting the result is very important. Say do ratio is very, very important. It's just not talking, but then getting the result out and then multiplying it. If you don't do, you are not in. That's what people, because people keep watching, because and they want intelligent ideas and intelligent implementation. It's just not giving ideas, but then how do you implement? Walk the talk is very important. And this is what when I was in London with my chairman, we used to meet in morning, 3-4 meetings, just calling intelligent people, drawing some ideas, and then seeing how these ideas can get implemented. It's just not there with the CEOs, but then it's also at home. When we meet, call some friends, we get some ideas, and immediately we say, why don't we invest in a property somewhere there, where he has said. So it's drawing ideas. Implementing is very important for youngsters.
Okay, sorry, last but 2 questions before I go to the audience. What are one of the most interesting challenge you faced in your life?
I would say, the challenge I would say is that again, per se, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but then getting change management is something is a challenge. Getting yourself. We wanted to put a lot of things in technology and Vedanta as well. And that is where I keep saying, it's not easy, because I always believe that I as a team can do it. But is it possible? Not possible. Again, I would say I would be somewhere like 25-75 success rate in the first hand. The second hand, I was 50-50. In the third hand, I went up. But then bringing professional to get them to do is again a good idea. If something is not happening, outsource it. And somewhere I missed that opportunity, but then I have learned that today something is not happening, though you may be knowing, get the outsource it and give it to outside people and get the result out. So that's important, because time is an essence. You just can't talk, but you have to implement that.
Spot on. And related to that is the latest MIT study says people are willing to listen to robotics than to the human boss. So the day is not far when robotic HR boss takes over. Your final comments.
No, I always felt, HR as a function can also always be outsourced, because, and now with the technology, so much of a thing, it can be outsourced. But then you need, people also need people, so, and that's the reason HR has still got the importance and it's in the help. And I would stick to that, and that needs to be that gentlemanness and the politeness and the diplomaticness, and that's where HR is there. But then yes, millennials want to talk with machine, but not or chat with the machine, but not with the human. I mean, they come and say, "Kya advice lena hai? What to hear from so and so." But then if they draw something, it's something beautiful. I mean, they would grow because the experience. We read books, we see experience, we see walk the talk, we see TED talks. There's so much of an inspiration that keeps coming, and I guess this is one of those things that people, millennials must interact and get some ideas from a mix of both people as well as machine.
That's great. Can I invite questions from the participants? Any participant? Sujata? Yes, Mr. Ramadan.
Just I want to have one clarification. From his experience, now almost all the companies are reconciling to the hybrid model of working thanks to COVID. What kind of focus areas need to be addressed? Assuming that this working from home and hybrid working come to stay, what kind of a policy reviews need to be done? Particularly HR policies. That is one thing. Now we find the machines are replacing HR. Robotics can boss over the human beings. All those things are there. The fundamental issue in HR is the human touch. And now we are all electronically connected and emotionally disconnected. Without interactions and human, because after all, the human beings are social animals. What kind of a policy we need to review and to restore a balance between a traditional HR working and the contemporary HR requirements?
Good question, I would say. I mean, to answer to your first question, work from home or work from anywhere in the country, that's something which has come up. You don't have an office at all, but then you are either work from home or you work from US or you work from Africa or Asia Pacific, anywhere. I mean, that's the thing, that as long as you're able to deliver, that's good enough with the company. We don't know where it is going to head. Is that possible, not possible? I have interacted with people who said, no, I'm not comfortable now, because this is something which probably few of them are comfortable, few of them are not comfortable, because there's so much of a distraction even at, because offices is an office where there is no distraction. You can't dance around, you can't eat around, there's some kind of a, ethos and things. So we don't know where it is going to head to, but then there has been productivity that we hear. There has been more delivery we hear. There has been also people say that they work more than what they work in office. And this is saving energy in terms of fuel. It's saving energy in terms of electricity. It is, it is saving so many things for the organization. But the numbers don't lie. And I would say it is going on a uptrend only, I would say. The only thing is it is going to take some time for it to stabilize, and then they would probably come up saying that, yes, we would have meetings on a weekly basis or a virtual or something like that, and draw the attention. And probably the task and KPIs, it's going to be more on a contractual thing that could go up over a period of time, that whatever I wanted, I'm getting it. So we're going to be more sharper, and the task is going to be something which is related and wanted, and that is where the manager or the management thing is there. It's just not going to have something which is very enabling kind of a thing. It is going to be something which is related, and so that when the two dot joins, there is going to be a meaning to it. And this is something beautiful, and I want similar thing in HR as well, that we leave the enabling part and concentrate on the what is required for us to be done. And I guess in that, when you say in HR, it is more to get the right person and put management in place. That is number one. And for me, it revolves under that. The second would be the talent management piece of seeing what the employees are doing and how they are doing, and who can be tapped for giving an assignment or so. So that's part one. Part two to your question is if there are robotics that is coming or AI coming, but that's what is already come in. And we cannot stop something. Tomorrow we're going to have a battery driven car. We're going to have people-less car. So all that is what people want, and we cannot stop the change management. If we stop, it is not going to happen. But then yes, we were earlier known as personal officers. Then came developmental human resource development. Today again we have called as chief human resource people management, people person. So I guess on the people, as I said in earlier also, people is something, one needs to be engaging, and it is not easy, because if I draw some people who is working for 12-13 hours, I recently interviewed a person, and I goosebump in my hands when I heard him saying that he works about 13 hours. And he wants some time, and he doesn't want to work with a consultant like BCG because there's no time there. And he has coached and trained about 200, 300 people, SAT people who have got into SAT. So he's got multi-facet thing with him, and he wants to work here, work there, and do so many things and make wonders. So I guess engaging and coaxing and giving someone is important, and feeling the pulse of the people is important for HR person to be there. And there is always, mommy daddy required in any environment, and that's what is the people man.
That's great, mommy daddy required. Interesting question from Vikram Bhati. Can you please rephrase your views, thoughts regarding organization outsourcing HR functions?
Regarding?
Organization outsourcing HR functions.
No, I see. If there are some routine work, why are we putting our employees to do that? For example, in Sterling Corp, I did the compliance part, and I'm sure TS Gopal in compliance, labor compliance part also is more of an online thing that they are doing. We had engaged this Avatar and Aparjita, as compliance partner, and all are ex-armed force people. And for them, that is, they have a server, they have a platform, everything based on that. They have legal experts. So, the money that we were spending with our employees and not getting it done was a poor thing. On compliance score, we used to always get 30-40%, whereas when we employed the compliance, outsourced it, not only we reduce the manpower, our own manpower, we also reduce the cost. And whenever I outsource, I look at two things. One is, can I reduce my cost? Can I reduce my manpower? And the effectiveness. So this is when it is possible, when you can do it, and also you're developing a startup and new vendors. So why not give opportunity to others? How much of that you want to do it yourself?
Okay. Another interesting question from Mr. Harris. How do you measure integrity?
it's either 0 or 10. It is nothing in between. I mean, you can't say that I was doing, but then this is what happened and I took the money, but I returned it back. It can't. You've taken the money, you're out. That's it. So there's no question of in between things. And at Vedanta or at Jindal, we are pretty strong. Zero tolerance for us is very, very important, and we would stick. And any of the managers, for me, I mean, as I do an interview, first thing is I call up 4 5 people, do my reference checking before I meet the candidate. And if I'm meeting today Mr. Dean or anyone, I would see his one pager in advance. I would not meet him till this thing. No courtesy meeting. It is always meeting, checking their so many records of theirs before. When I used to get them to meet my chairman or someone, I will do all kind of due diligence. I will not meet anyone without records.
Harishankar, probably ex-Sterlite, has a lot of compliments to you. Sterlite is a great place to work. I think we have come to the end of the session. You have beautifully articulated Mummy Daddy, which is a very strong takeaway I have, which is what HR has to be, the parental care, at the same time, professionalism, and give opportunity. When you spoke about allowing the millennials to choose what they like and create that environment and opportunity, that's a space what HR has to create. As usual, you have been impactful, walking the talk. Thanks a lot, boss. I think it's been a great learning. I'm sure we should be in touch more often to learn from you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a million for this.
Lovely. I mean, I attended, invited Dean for a session in Starlight Copper, and we thoroughly enjoyed that meeting. And there's so much of a learning. And I see Dean being younger day by day, putting a lot of things in the Facebook and showing. And that's the way I think, Dean, we learn from you, and we get the inspiration that there is life there. And many thanks for being with me today.
Thanks. It's a pleasure. It's a mutual admiration club. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks to all the participants for joining.
Thank you.